What up, YouTube? R to the double E. You know what it is. Coming back with part two of my, I don't want to say retrospective, but just look over discussion about my favorite three games, my favorite group of games, my favorite trilogy in the last decade. And that's the Mortal Kombat trilogy, or the Mortal Kombat group of games under NetherRealm Studios. Talking about Mortal Kombat 9, or just Mortal Kombat, the reboot. Mortal Kombat X, sorry about the glare. And Mortal Kombat 11, which I got on that Switch. You know what I'm saying? And where we left it, I was just talking about how the story mode for Mortal Kombat X highlights how they're doing something they had never done before, which is entrusting the franchise, entrusting the story of one of the main installments of the game, one of the main fighting installments, over to brand new characters. Like, really entrusting it to them. Not just bringing in new characters, be like, oh, this is a cool new character, whatever. No, like, these are the stars of the game. So it was revolutionary, man. And like I said, like, I talked about that example with the Sub-Zero, the Lin Kuei Temple, where Cassie Cage and her group goes out there and he basically schools them. And then when they think they're gonna die, Johnny Cage comes out, and Sub-Zero and Johnny Cage were working together. It was like, oh, he wanted Sub-Zero to get them ready. You know, there's another cool tidbit in the story mode. Always involves Sub-Zero. That's my dude. But really cool was the whole story arc with Sub-Zero and Scorpion. Now, we know these two have been fucking mortal enemies forever. Sub-Zero is better. I don't give a shit what that Boone says. But, you know, like, they have been enemies. They've been their clans, their history, everything. But if you go, you know, basically from the end of, like, Mortal Kombat 4 going forward, Sub-Zero has stopped so much fighting Scorpion, and basically trying to tell that retarded fire monkey, like, dude, it wasn't me. I can tell you who it was. I can help you even get the motherfucker who killed your family. So finally here, you see where they finally became allies, which is just fucking awesome. I've been waiting for this shit since I was a kid. Sub-Zero and Scorpion together. I still remember Shaolin Monks, one of the greatest spin-off games ever. Mortal Kombat Shaolin Monks. Have it on the Xbox original. I fucking love that game. They were going to make a sequel, which I don't know why the fuck to this day they canned it. And Ed Boon says, hey, there's always a chance it'll come back, which please, for the love of God, do it. There was a sequel planned called Fire and Ice. Instead of Shaolin Monks, Fire and Ice. Same type of gameplay, and it was Sub-Zero and Scorpion together. In this story mode, you see that pivotal moment where Sub-Zero was able to gain Scorpion's trust to be like, listen, dude, we're on the same side. So you see this scene where he invites him to the Lin Kuei Temple, and you got Sub-Zero and Scorpion sitting down to tea. They're gonna have some tea, all right? And, you know, Scorpion's still very, like, you know, not trusting him at all. Like, what the fuck? And Sub-Zero's like, listen, dude, I'm all about restoring the Lin Kuei's honor. We have a really bad past. We did some really stupid shit. I wasn't in charge. I'm in charge now. I'm trying to get the shit right. And so you see Scorpion starts to, like, sit down and listen. And then Frost tries to attack Scorpion. And he blames Sub-Zero. He's like, oh, I knew you were fucking bullshit. And then Sub-Zero ends up freezing the shit out of Frost. And then, like, Scorpion looks at him like, oh, you know, kind of, you saved me. And he's like, listen, man, if she's stupid, let me show you something. And he takes him into the temple, and he shows him Sector's memory core, because he fucking took Sector's head off, you know, off screen, you know, or in the timeline. And he shows him the memory core, and in the memory core, Scorpion gets to see that it was not Sub-Zero or the Lin Kuei, it was Quan Chi that had his family butchered. And that's where he turns around and he looks at Sub-Zero, and they do their little salute, like their ninja thing and whatever, and they become allies. Which I was just like, feels. I've been waiting for this, man. So the story mode is awesome, and they do shit like that, man. It's all about the young kids, but there's still plenty of shit in the storyline for us veterans who are Sub-Zero fans, Scorpion fans, Liu Kang fans, Johnny Cage, and all the original cast. So yeah, man, it's really good. And it just furthered the story. Basically, it draws to a head when you have Outworld, which is now led by Kotal Khan instead of Shao Kahn, because Shao Kahn died at the end of Mortal Kombat 9, so now they have a new emperor, and he's actually a good dude. Still kind of warped in his thinking, but he's honorable, and he's trying to do things the right way, but it's still Outworld, you know what I'm saying? So you got Outworld with a new leader. You got Quan Chi still trying to do his underhanded shit. Like, he's basically trying to manipulate things for Shinnok, who's the fallen elder god, who's the one who's been orchestrating this whole plan from the get-go. He's been trying to get Shao Kahn out of the way, Shang Tsung out of the way, everyone out of the way so that he could take over. All right, so he gets released by Quan Chi, and he comes out and he basically goes to Raiden's I think it's the Sky Temple, and that's where the Jinsei, which is the life force of Earth Realm, the very life source of Earth Realm, is there, and he is about to corrupt it. And then that's where our heroes show up, and Cassie Cage, of all people, it's Cassie Cage, Johnny and Sonya's daughter, who ends up whooping his ass. She discovers that, when you see Johnny Cage do the shadow kick and the uppercut and all that, how he has this green aura around him. In this story mode, you get to see him discover for the first time that he has that power and where it comes from. And then the fact that Cassie also has it. That's how she defeats Shinnok. So, real epic, real cool. She beat Shinnok, ends the threat, Shinnok gets destroyed, whatever. That's the story mode. When we jump from there, and then things that this game did. The fighting is as smooth as ever. It's amazing. The stage and level design is great. This one still has stage fatalities, which is something I lament that, as far as I know, Mortal Kombat 11 omitted. But you got some really cool stage fatalities here, like the one where you're on this bridge over like an ocean where all the waves are rolling and shit, and then there's a one stage fatality where it's like the Kraken, like one of the tentacles come out and grabs the person and just drags them down into the depths, and you see them disappearing, and then just you see this pop of blood and all the body parts come floating up. Real sick shit. But it's all good. It does everything that 9 did, just amplified. Then we jump into the most recent installment. Just came out about a week and a half ago. Mortal Kombat 11. Oh God. I love this fucking game. And I laugh at the backlash it's getting. Some of it well deserved, though. I'll go into that. All right, so here we have the story picking up right where it left off. At the end of Mortal Kombat X, Shinnok was defeated. Raiden, there's a post-credit scene in this one where Raiden is corrupted because he had to sacrifice himself. While Cassie was fighting Shinnok, Raiden had to basically throw himself body first into the Jinsei that already has Shinnok's dark magic in it, and he was corrupted by it, but his godly essence in there purified it and stopped that. But in the process, he was corrupted. So he comes out mad. It's awesome. So at the end of this game, he basically shows up at Liu Kang and Kitana's palace in the Netherrealm. Yeah, Liu Kang and Kitana are childhood sweethearts. They're now the Emperor and Empress of the Netherrealm. They're the King and Queen of Hell, basically. And he shows up and he just warns them. He's like, I'm here to let y'all know I'm no longer just going to defend Earthrealm. I'm going to actively go after any realm I think is a threat. If I even feel like you're a threat, I'm fucking you up. And he goes, and this is a sign, there are fates worse than death. And he just drops Shinnok's head on the ground. And since Shinnok's an elder god, he can't die. So the head is alive, and it's like gasping and shit. And then Liu Kang and Kitana see that shit, and Raiden just zaps the fuck out of there, and they're left like with this look on their face like, holy shit. So MK11 picks up right there. Right when he takes Shinnok's head. He has Shinnok tied up in that same chamber, and he's torturing him, dude. But you'll notice the lightning is red now, it's not blue. And Raiden's all dark, his costume and everything is all black, and his eyes are red, and he's just fucking torturing Shinnok. And he tells him what he's gonna do. He's like, yo, I'm gonna destroy all of Earthrealm's potential enemies, starting with you. And then he's like, oh, how are you gonna do that? I'm an elder god. You can't kill an elder god. And he fucking makes a blade out of lightning, like a lightsaber. It even has a zoom sound effect. And he just goes to him, there's fates worse than death. Vragada! Takes his head off. Slams that shit down on a table, and then teleports out of there. When that happens, the new boss, Kronika, shows up, and you see all the raindrops that are falling, they just freeze. Like she can control time. So she just shows up and tells Shinnok that this wasn't his destiny, and that she's gonna make things right, and then the Thunder God keeps fucking around with her plans, and she's like, listen, the whole universe bends to my will. It's just a matter of time. So that's how the whole thing jumps off. So it's basically a story where Kronika is actually the being who has been controlling the events of this entire universe since the very first game you ever played, since Mortal Kombat 1. And she just doesn't like the fact that her plan keeps getting, her perfect plan keeps getting fucked up by Raiden getting involved and changing shit. So she makes it her point to basically stop time and bring the past into the present to basically make it so she can work her plan so that at the end of it, the new era, her new timeline will have no Raiden. Okay? So by that, you have the old Scorpion coming into the present with the new Scorpion. You have the old Jax coming in with the new Jax. You have the old Sonya coming in with the new Sonya. It's fucking crazy. It's awesome. And the interactions that these characters have when they meet their future selves or their past selves. Oh my God, dude. The story mode is so goddamn epic. And the thing about this one is, the game's been out for a week and a half now. So, spoiler alert if some of you guys haven't beat the story mode. They end this one on such a fucking crazy note that I honestly, as the biggest Mortal Kombat fan you'll meet, have no fucking clue where they're going to go. But I'm so goddamn excited. Look, Mortal Kombat 9, you had a post-credit scene letting you know where the story was going to go for the next one. Mortal Kombat X, you had a post-credit scene letting you know where the story is going to go for the next one. Mortal Kombat 11, unless it's hidden, I haven't seen a post-credit scene. Because I think even they're like, okay, let's let this game breathe for a couple years because we have no fucking clue what we're going to do now. The story ends in such a perfect way, man. Basically, long story short, after you go through all the different chapters, there's like 12 chapters, and they're fucking all phenomenal. There's one chapter called Fire and Ice, and it's Sub-Zero and Scorpion working together. That shit is so epic. But one of the things that this game did that the other story modes didn't do, like MKX, in their story mode, they introduced quick time events. And while they were cool and exciting, they kind of just snuck up on you while you were just sitting back watching an amazing cutscene. They just jumped up on you and you're like, oh shit, I gotta get the controller. They got rid of that. Now what they have is, at a certain point in the story of the chapter that you're in, you might have to make a decision on which one of two characters you want to fight as. So I don't know if that affects the outcome, but it's just cool because it lets you fight through the same story as two different characters, the same part of the story. Like Sub-Zero and Scorpion, that happened. Liu Kang and Kung Lao, that happens. So awesome shit, man. So at the end, it gets to the point where you have to have Liu Kang, basically, his present self, or his good self, the past one, basically absorbs the bad one from now. And Raiden goes inside of Liu Kang and becomes part of him. And turns him into a fucking god. Okay, so he becomes Fire God Liu Kang. White eyes, like Raiden, these white glowing dragon tattoos, white hair. He's got Regan's hat on his back, and he's just a fucking monster, dude. Every movie he does, like he does his fireball, the fire comes out and it's surrounded by lightning. It's so fucking badass, dude. And he's the one that ends up beating Kronika. You fight Kronika and you beat her as him. And when you beat her, it's like I've seen two different endings so far. I heard there's three, but I've seen two different endings. They basically in the same way. Liu Kang is now, this god. He's unstoppable. And at the end, once he beats her, you hear Raiden say, oh, we've done what we had to do, Liu Kang. And then Liu Kang turns around, Raiden's standing there, he's like, Lord Raiden. And he just looks up, and Raiden has regular human eyes. And he's like, no, I'm just Raiden now. You are the one who's going to be the protector of Earthrealm from now on. You're worthy. So he's no longer a god, he's mortal. So it's like, what the fuck? It's awesome, dude, awesome. So I'm not going to tell you the differences in the two endings because I'm running out of time. But, I mean, it's just the story mode is fantastic. The fighting is great. The Crypt is awesome because it's a full-fledged 3D third-person action exploration game on its own right where you explore Shang Tsung's island with Kerry Tagawa, the legendary Shang Tsung, narrating the whole thing. You see so much different like nods to the lore and characters and mythologies of Mortal Kombat universe in that Crypt mode. Man, and like I said, I told y'all, man, come get me online right now. I tried the online like I said I would. It's buttery smooth. And the online, right now I'm at 16-2. And the two people that beat me, I went back and beat their ass. Come holler at me, catch these hands and put foots in you, dog. Hey, Mortal Kombat 11 is fucking phenomenal. But that's basically all I wanted to say, man. This trilogy of games, man, is just, this group of games, it's the best I have experienced in the last 10 years. And it's the best fighter around, man. It's just such a good job by NetherRealm. I want to applaud those motherfuckers because they are bad motherfuckers, man. I would love to work there one day, man. See if I ever get the chance. God bless y'all. Stay gaming. Peace.